Over the last decade, East African economies have implemented 74 institutional reforms aimed at promoting the business environment for local entrepreneurs. Ben Wandawanda is the executive head of business banking at CfC Stanbic and now speaks to us about the bank's initiatives towards promoting ease of doing business in the region. Take a look. You're doing an East African transregional trade on transregional conference on trade. Tell us, why this is important at this point and what actually you are doing. Thank you very much for that question. I think for starters, we as Standard Bank believe that Africa is our home and we want to drive its growth. So this is one of the initiatives that we've taken to make sure that we facilitate opportunities for business growth. Now, we as CfC Stanbic Bank in Kenya have seen a lot of customers from South Africa coming to set up base here. For obvious reasons, the East African economy is actually quite a huge marketplace. Yeah. Kenya gives them the opportunity to tap into that, logistically ideally located. And if you have to use Kenya as a base, I mean, we have flights going into all corners of Africa, many flights in a day, so it actually begins to make sense. Yeah. But in as much as we want to facilitate movement of those customers to set up base here and growth of business along that route, we also need to provide an opportunity for customers that are based in Kenya or some of the East African countries in the event that they're looking to doing trade with South Africa and other countries. And to that effect, we have customers from South Africa, we have customers from Kenya here, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. So I think it resonates with us, and it speaks strongly around what we perceive to be the right thing to do in this currently macroeconomic environment. Now, over the last 3 years, we've seen quite some government-driven effort towards improving ease of doing business in East Africa. What's your interpretation of this? Does it excite you?
I think we operate in turbulent and dynamic environments. Most of the customers will look at an opportunity, will come up with a concept, and they have an idea of how they're going to convert that into reality. But remember, they may not be the only ones looking at that opportunity. And also the environment may change before that opportunity is realized. Now, a lot of work that has been done around ease of doing business in Africa is actually made it easier for customers to look at that opportunity, put their resources together or look for resources, and then set up shop. So the time it takes from the concept of an idea to actualizing it to seeing the benefit is become shorter. And for us, that actually signifies and highlights the opportunity in East Africa and a lot of investment that the governments that are part of the Eastern African bloc have actually put in to make sure that process is actually seamless.
Talk to us about some of the models that the bank is employing in terms of financing and facilitating just the doing of business in the region.
I think it all depends on where they decide to set up shop. If, for example, they decide to set up shop in Kenya and then they're going into countries where we've got representation, we want to maintain a singular view of the customer. So our colleagues in Tanzania and Uganda will have the same view that we have. So if this customer then decides that they're going to set up shop in Tanzania or Uganda, for example, we'll facilitate that in such a way that the regulatory documents you give us in Kenya, if the same are required in any of these countries, you won't have to provide them again. You only provide documents that are specific to the countries that you're setting up shop. So we make that easier for you. The second thing is, in terms of financing, we will present information around Kenya and the countries you want to go in so that you make the right choice around the cost of funds, how it is easy to move funds, the tax implications, and all that. Now, when we lay all that on the table and you decide that you're going to operate and maybe for us to enable you arrange financing from Tanzania, for example, we will help you do that. We'll also provide you the technology capability for you to have a singular side of all the accounts that you operate in these countries. Will allow you to do transactions. Will also allow you to even go a step further in terms of movement from bank to bank, but also to individual where it has to dominate into a mobile wallet, for example. So we've got a lot of capability for that.
What are the concerns that you have in terms of ease of doing business in East Africa and how we can actually improve on that?
The concerns are actually a good problem to have. So what I perceive to be a concern is that there's a huge opportunity, but maybe we're not moving fast enough to connect businesses to tap into it. So it's a positive concern. So all we see are possibilities, and I think we as Standard Bank and Stanbic in some of the countries that we operate in are actually well positioned to actually help our customers realize their dreams in these areas.